So, a few weeks ago, I was really annoying on Twitter and found this person who is an editor at Flatiron Books, Sarah Barley, and she had arcs for this series that I really, really like. And then I asked her for another book, and I said, "Hey, I heard that you might have something that I saw on Twitter, and I would love, 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 love to be a part of the people who read it ahead of time." Usually, when I ask for an arc, it's because I know that the book that I'm asking for is going to be popular in my library. I have kids. I'm in a middle school library, but my students are very, very voracious readers, and they have loved the Montague siblings series. So Sarah Barley sent me a advanced copy of Mackenzi Lee's new book. She is the author of The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue and The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. And so Sarah sent me this amazing book that I don't have with me, but it doesn't even have a cover yet. It was a bound manuscript. Oh my God, you guys. This was literally the coolest moment of my librarian existence, like of my entirety existence. Like, I've gotten arcs before, and it's amazing, and I still squeal like a little girl every time I get an arc, but this was a manuscript. I can't even. I literally just held it in my hands for a while, like, this is real. Like, I really got this in my hands, and it's here, and I can read it, and it's amazing, and oh my God. So, at the time, this is what's so cool about having a manuscript, is that the title of this book has already changed. So at the time that I received the book, it was called Semper Augustus. And if you have not already heard me talk about this book, you're about to hear it. Now, as of a few days ago, when I saw on Goodreads, it is now called The Fever Blooms. So freaking cool, because I can officially say that I read this book when it was still called something else. Anyway, so this book is really, really cool. So Mackenzi Lee wanted to explore the idea of women in about the 1700s dressing as men. And she wanted to explore the idea of gender identity then, but in Holland. And so we're talking about, yeah, I have things written on my hand. Don't judge me, you guys. I have a lot of things to do right now. TLA is next week. I'm stressed out. So, whatever. Anyway, so she wanted to explore the idea of dressing as the opposite sex at a time when you couldn't even come out as gay, because people were being stoned and hung for their sexuality. Like, really? Is this real life? So at first I was kind of struggling with this because, of course, we hear about these things. We know about our history. We know how homosexuality has just been like super taboo. And then I read an article on CNN. I have the CNN app, and I'm a nerd, where a country is going back to this. They are stoning people who are out as homosexual. I literally cannot even. Like, this is 2019, you guys. I can record myself talking about books and share them with thousands of people on the internet. But we're really gonna stone someone for who they love. Anyway, that's another conversation. So this book is really, really cool. So Semper Augustus, or now as The Fever Blooms, is about a brother and a sister, and y'all know I'm awful with names. The main character is the sister, and it's super duper cool because they don't know exactly how old they are because they're orphans and their mothers left them. And so the main character says that they really only know their age because the nuns where they were growing up looked at their teeth and told their age by their teeth. Freaking amazing. Like, my mind was already blown when I read that. Like, that is super duper cool. Anyway. So they grow up and they get, or the brother rather, gets a trade where he is going to be an apprentice to, I don't even know what the man did. I don't know. He becomes an apprentice and they learn their trade. So the sister goes with him because this is at a time when men support women. Brothers support their sisters until the sister gets married off. And never in their existence, never in their lifetime has the brother ever pressured his sister to get married and like be taken care of. But all of a sudden he's telling her like she needs to get married and she needs to find someone. She's like 16 and people are saying she's too old to get married. Y'all, I didn't get married till I was 28. I would be an old hag to them. Anyway, so he's settled, and she's like, why? Like, who cares? Why do I have to suddenly just go get married? And he says, because the man who was taking care of them left them a lot of debt, and they are suddenly not going to make it. And so now our main character, who is a girl, has decided she's going to dress as a man and sell a tulip, a Semper Augustus, which is like the most rare tulip that there is. Now, this is happening at a time when tulip mania is a thing, and it was probably the coolest thing I've ever read about. So, in Holland, or the Netherlands, in the 1600s and 1700s, people would buy and sell and trade tulips, which is totally cool and normal, except that they were selling and buying and trading them before they bloomed. So you could essentially say, I'm going to give you $1 million for your flower that is in the ground and has not bloomed yet, that I've never seen, and I have no guarantee that it is going to be the tulip that I want. And now these people are like blooming these flowers and cross mixing them and making them all sorts of beautiful colors and like have dripping colors. Like the way she describes the flowers alone has me just like, I'm suddenly obsessed with tulips and I want to know all about them and I want them everywhere. And it was so cool to read this because I got into the mania by reading the book and understanding like we are so crazy about tulips and how they are their own currency at this time because people are losing it over them. So the most rare tulip you can have is a Semper Augustus. And they talk about it as a bulb because you don't have the flower. And so the bulb is supposedly in the ground. So the siblings find out about this man who's coming across on a boat, and he supposedly has a Semper Augustus bulb. So the siblings decide that the girl is going to pretend that she is this person who has the bulb because he never arrived on the ship that he was supposed to be on. Makes total sense. And then she meets the person, the girl, who the Semper Augustus is coming for. This is the coolest, most amazing, most intricately done and beautifully written, not romance I've ever read. Ever. So, our main character learns and finds that she's attracted to this girl and says that from the first moment she met her, she was done. She was in love with her and it was over. And that it was definitely love at first sight. And she loved her from the beginning. So cool, right? So she knows that these thoughts she's having aren't natural. And she knows that this could get her in a lot of trouble and it's not going to be okay. And things are going to end badly. So she tries and pushes it away. And she thinks, no, I'm not thinking these things. It's fine, whatever. Like, I'm going to go on about my business. And so she goes home. She concocts this scheme with her brother to sell this flower, to dress as a man. She wears her brother's clothes. She cuts her hair. And this girl has long, flowing, beautiful hair. But she always says that it never really felt like her. So she does her braid, right? And she puts her hair in a braid, and her brother just cuts it off. Bah, gone. And she says immediately after that, she felt better. And from the second that she sees herself in her brother's clothes, in her brother's shoes, with her hair short, she finds who she is. This is who she was meant to be. This is who she wants to be. And she learns that she can't go on like this. She can't keep pretending to be a man. And her brother keeps getting after her and tells her, take off those clothes, stop dressing like that, stop acting like that. You are not a man. And she's like, no, you don't get it. this is who I am now. I don't want to be a woman. I don't want to dress like this. I don't want to wear skirts. I don't want to get married. I do want to marry her. And her brother, of course, is like, no, you cannot think these things. You can't be this person that you think you are. And so she says, well, this is who I am. And he basically throws her out on a super duper important holiday and outs his sister. So this is 2019, right? We know how wrong it is to out someone else that is not you. You can't do that to someone and share someone else's story. Like, have you not read Simon versus Homo sapiens agenda? You can't do that. Back then, if you tattled on someone for being homosexual, people thought it was amazing. Like, it was disgusting. And they have just learned that a friend of theirs was gay and he was hung and his person runs away. And now the brother has outed the sister and told people that she's not a man and that that's his sister. And so people are like, this isn't okay. So they throw her in jail, completely plan on killing her and hanging her. And I'm not going to tell you the ending, but it is the coolest ending, like the most perfect ending for this book that I've ever freaking read. I was reading it thinking like, there's no way she's going to get out of this. I was like crying reading it, like they are going to kill her. And this is going to be one of those books that like we read and we're like, how is this a thing? Why? And I mean, it's part of history. We know that like these things happened. But anyway, I'm not going to give you a spoiler because I want you to read it because this book was freaking amazing and fabulous. And thank you, Sarah Barley, for letting me have read it because I've already book talked it up around my school. I am so ready for this book to be in my library. I cannot wait for kids to read it. I cannot wait for people to read it. I can't wait. It comes out in, I want to say January 2020. It is going to be super duper important. It's going to be very, very important, not just about gender identity, but about our identity and being who you are and who you were meant to be and being able to love who you want to love and embracing just who you are and embracing the mania, whether it's flowers, whether it's you, whether it's someone you love. Super cool book. I loved it. It is going to be so important, and I cannot wait for the world to read it. So again, the book is called The Fever Blooms by Mackenzi Lee, and I can't wait for you all to read it and share and talk about it. So I can't wait. If you enjoyed this vlog, please give it a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. So again, that was an amazing book, and I can't wait. Bye, y'all. See y'all at TLA.